For me, this is an opportunity for Rwanda and for Africa. For Rwanda, because we want Rwanda to be a blueprint for what we could do as on implementing the small modular reactor technology, because those are not new technology, but are technology that have evolved a lot with a lot of innovation in terms of fuel that allow us to be more confident in the safety and security that goes with the regulation that was just mentioned. And that's why Rwanda has made that choice. And then we want to make sure that we one of the first country to implement a small modular reactor. We're adding to that also the opportunity for the micro reactor that are much smaller, but also getting a little bit bigger because we're talking about 1 megawatt in the beginning of their deployment or development. But now I think they go up to 45 megawatt now. They're getting close to the beginning of the small modular reactor, and then that's a good thing. So one topic that we will try to address here, it's not only the vision for Africa, which goes together with Rwanda's vision for nuclear energy, but we also want to see how we can tap into Africa as a whole, its ambition with regard to human capacity. That's important. I think it's important to mention where Rwanda started by training people and then building capacity and having a critical mass that can accompany the implementation and deployment of the nuclear energy program. So how do we get other African countries, so that we speak as a united voice of Africa in that nuclear energy implementation that we want for the continent, because it's the must for our industrialization and our development. And people often talk about nuclear energy as a risk. It's true. In the past, with the traditional power plant, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about accident in Fukushima, in Chernobyl. But I just want to share with you guys one quick anecdote. I had a deputy director general of one of the UN institutions that was giving a talk in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso to students. When they asked him the question about the risk for nuclear power plant, and then he said, do you know that in the African continent, we have 50,000 snake bites that are fatal per year? So he asked the question, can you tell me if you've ever heard that nuclear energy is killing 50,000 per year? Of course not. So the point that he was making is that the risk is not at the level where we're putting it, because we talk about death for some issues, but the death related to nuclear accident is quite minimal. We talk more about it when we have Fukushima, we talk more about it when we have Chernobyl, but those issues are taken good care of with the small modular reactor because they're safer, secure, and then we can deal with the non-proliferation issue as well in a much better way.